a lot of times it's energy, emotion, physicality. You can have the best play into the best defense that you're, from an offensive perspective, trying to attack. And if you have a defensive lineman or a corner or a safety make a great individual play, then that's not a lot you can do.
It started with cartoons, then we said let's roll the rooms and get some puppets for this Bengals podcast. John Sheeran's got the brain and some say Hoji's insane, but that's the podcast, the Bengals podcast. Max Montoya liked our show, and one day we will get Joe Burrow. He'll find our facts so thorough. Our chemistry depends on the fact that we are friends, even if we're stupid. Oh yeah, we're really stupid.
Welcome
to the number one
Bengals podcast. Welcome back, John. Welcome back, Daddy-O. Now let's get to business. As per the agreement that I had with this show, I'm out. Right. I quit. That is not what we agreed on. Okay, boys and girls, welcome to the show. Let me explain. I have been in a long 8-month legal battle with Daddy-O because he felt that this new song that he wanted us to make and paid for us to make was disparaging toward him. Crazy podcast, crazy show. He felt insulted. He's been keeping this from being on the show. And now that he plays it, the sound quality was subpar. It is not what our lawyers agreed on. This is not. You have pulled a shamar on me. You have shamarred me. You have shamarred my reputation. The reputation of my song, you have shamarred me. You have.
I would say $500,000 would be more than the entire budget of the Number One Bengals podcast by about, John, $500,000 worth.
$499,900 something. Yeah.
Right.
That was not the sound quality that I sent you. We sent you a high def, beautiful new Bengals podcast song, and you
Speaking of deaf, the Cincinnati Bengals front office has listened to our calls to get Trey Hendrickson back under a new deal.
No, that's not what happened.
And he is back, John. He's
Yeah,
back.
all that happened was Trey agreed to go to practice, John.
He agreed to watch practice, John.
Yeah. I mean, he was out there.
He was
doing
out there.
anything except, he wasn't doing nothing. He was giving
If
some
I may,
pointers here and there.
Trey is pulling a shamar on the Bengals.
No.
No, that doesn't work that way. No.
I think Shamar pulled the tray first. It's the chicken and the egg, the tray and the Shamar is a classic situation.
Oh, so Shamar himself. Wow.
Well, Shamar was out there, as we saw in the clips, John, getting a lot of tongue lashings from his defensive line coach. Do this, do that. You're not doing it right. That was bad. But the defense, overall, John, had a great day. Jordan Battle, breaking up passes. Josh the Fig Newton, making a lot of headlines. And Joe Burrow came out and he said, look, I'm trying my best. This defense is just too good. I can't do anything. John, go ahead.
I don't think that's exactly what he said, but we have the same conversation every year, and there's a lack of recognition that when you face the same offense for weeks on end, it becomes a lot easier to play them, especially in condensed spaces like the red zone, which is primarily what the Bengals did on Wednesday during training camp practice. And, yeah, of course, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are going to do their usual thing. They're way too talented to not grab some receptions. Andre Yosevach doing the same thing. Looks like he's a lot better this year compared to the last two. But the defense is naturally gaining confidence because they're seeing the same thing over and over again. And naturally, they come into training camp just on a reactionary basis where they don't have to worry about timing. So this is kind of how it goes every single year, regardless of the quality of the defense. Nobody had any qualms about the Bengals defense this time last year. You only saw everything kind of fall apart once they guys had to play other offenses that they didn't really know what to expect. And then the weaknesses of said defense came to play. I will say that there appears to be fewer weaknesses on the Bengals defense. But I don't know if we want to crown the 85 Bears yet.
Well,
John, I have a question.
Yeah.
Daddy, if I may.
Go.
Follow-up question to you, John. I want to ask you to do something that historically you have hated doing. I know you don't like talking
Back
about the
for 5
future.
minutes. We're doing this now?
You like talking about the present. You like talking about the cold, hard facts. But I want you to talk about the soft, warm ones. The soft, warm conjectures. Yeah. And I want you to tell me your gut feeling about this year's defense from what you've seen so far. You're not going to be beholden to it. No one's going to judge you by it. But how do you feel? Better or worse than last year? Gut.
Better because they got rid is a very strong statement. They relieved themselves of players who no longer fit what they were trying to do. They got younger, and I think that there is talent that is yet to be or is currently being unlocked with guys that were drafted. I think all of that is true. So naturally, I think they're going to be slightly better at the very least than, I mean, you could rank them by EPA per play, yards per play, like yards per game, whatever your case may be. It was a bottom 8 defense all around. I think they can now be bottom 16, right? I think that's fair, but there's still more questions about this pass rush than I would like to say, and I think that's something that it's like the equivalent of how they handled guard on the offensive side of the ball. I still think it's a place where
because Shamar can't tackle.
John, well, hold on. Can we start with the secondary? Because that's where we've been seeing some good signs. And John, we know that Lou Anarumo, that was his expertise. He lost his guys, secondary fell apart. Okay? Now we have some guys who might not be, first-round draft picks, some of them. But they got some attitude. They got some leadership skills. They got some physicality to them. And they are going to, I feel like, take that defense by the horns and make it their own in their own way. Not a team that's going to shut down necessarily the top player, but they get some hits in there. They get some, right? They get some inspiring plays in there. That's where I'm a little bit excited.
I think this defense fits the secondary better because it's not going to be as much single high. Geno Stone was never just a single high safety at Baltimore, so that's kind of why he struggled a lot last year. I think Jordan Battle is also kind of a too high shell type of safety. I think the cornerbacks fit the increased amount of man coverage that they're going to see. It's still not going to be primarily man because you can't really do that in the NFL because the athletes on the offensive side of the ball are too great. But when you're talking about blitzing and playing man coverage in the back end, Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill, DJ Turner all fit that. I think Josh Newton is too beloved within that locker room and amongst the coaching staff to not see significant time as well. He probably starts over a guy like DJ Turner, who I think is getting a lot of flack this training camp because, again, some of the best receivers in the world are making plays over him, and that's just kind of how it goes. But I think the talent and the types of players that they have in the secondary fit what they're trying to do with this defense, and especially that's the case with the linebackers, where they definitely got a lot better compared to last year.
I just want to make a small little correction. John, we now say human to human coverage.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gender balanced language, please, on the show. Thank
John,
you.
Please.
I know Bridget's not here, but come on.
Thank you, Hoji. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to point that out. But John, all right, you talked about the pass rush. Okay, we got Shamar in there. Shamar, they said he needs to learn. Now, one day under his belt, I feel like he's learned a lot. I'm very encouraged. Day two, nobody knows what day two holds. But John,
now
Miles
the fact
Murphy,
that he can't tackle, is that going to affect the sport?
Who said he can't tackle?
Who said
Everybody said that.
No.
He's only tackled 4 people
he
in the
can't
history.
finish? He can't finish.
Right.
He can do the foreplay, the whatever you call it, the pre-play stuff.
Yes.
He can't finish.
He can't finish.
John, I have a question for you.
John?
Miles Murphy. That's my question.
Miles Murphy, what?
However you want to
Question
question
mark.
John. Whatever question mark.
In fact, may I, that you amend
Miles-
it? Question
yes.
mark, exclamation point.
Miles Murphy, John. That's my question.
There we go. Playing a lot for Trey Hendrickson right now because he's not out there. And it was interesting that I saw him on the left side today. He's been primarily a right defensive end during his time here, and I think that's where he's getting a lot of the reps when Trey's not on the field, but they moved him over to the left side, and I think that's going to have to be the case once Trey gets back if he wants to see the field at all, because Trey doesn't really move sides, and he's not going to leave the field that much anyways, but I don't know if there's any definitive take with Miles Murphy. I think he's kind of been who he's always been so far, and we have to really see what he does against other competition. I haven't seen enough, I would say, from either him or Joseph Asai to say that, yeah, these guys are 100% taking a jump. I think we're kind of hearing and seeing the similar things as to last year and recent years where it's all a lot of hope right now, and we just need to see more.
What about that guy? We got that big chubby guy for the middle of the defensive line.
TJ Sladen is not really chubby. He's kind of tall. So there's some
Plus
weight
size that you.
weight is evenly distributed, I would say.
He will chub up, I think, in Cincinnati. But
Listen,
is he-
Daddy, I just want to remind the viewers that Daddy got in trouble 3 years ago for using the phrase man boobs on the show. And
Not
that's
human
not
boobs?
allowed. No, human boobs. Boobies, I believe. Go ahead.
Wait. John, okay, I want to move on. And I want to give the Bengals front office a little pat on the back for winning the argument. And they won the argument. You agree. They won. They won.
Wait, you talking about Shamar?
With Shamar, they won.
They Shamar'd him.
They won. They Shamar'd him. They
Just like you Shamar'd me.
out-lawyered him.
Yeah.
His agent thought he won, but they won. We know that. And now they are winning with Trey Hendrickson, and I tell you, I'm a little
not.
sick of the winning.
They can't stop winning.
Trey, listen. The situation with Trey, you're totally misreading. Trey just doesn't want to lose the momentum of Bengals fandom.
Listen.
So he wants to show he's willing to make a deal. That doesn't
I
mean
tell-
he's actually going to take a deal.
No, I think he's going to take a deal.
He's
I think
not.
This is all an act. Anytime
I
you
disagree.
talk that much to the media, listen, I think it's a little weird because Trey Hendrickson doesn't look like he's declining at all to me.
No,
he's
he's not.
ascending. He's still ascending.
Yes.
And I don't care about his age. Remember, John, he was a little bit of a late bloomer. I mean, he wasn't a premier pass rusher coming into the league, and then he picked up maybe like his third, fourth year or whatever. And I think he has a lot of miles left. But unfortunately, ageism it means that the league is dictating that, hey, you sit out a year, you might not get that long-term deal that you're looking for. He knows. He knows he's in trouble. He knows his only option right now is to get a long-term deal with the Bengals. He's worried about the guaranteed money. Well, guess what? You sit out a year. That's what, $30 million? How much guaranteed money you're going to get next year to compensate for it, right, John? He is in a corner. And congratulations to the Bengals front office. They win and they win and they win every argument.
John?
I don't like this. I don't like the way that you phrase this. I don't.
Me
I you know what? I won't answer because I reject the impetus. No, that's not even a word. You got my brain.
It is a word, John. John, it was a word. Impetus. IMPETUS. Impetus.
Well, we had John for 14
I will not do
minutes.
this. I will not do this. I will not come back and have you phrase questions in a way that I don't like it. I don't like it, so I reject to answer it.
Are
The
you saying-
Bengals
Thank you,
aren't
John.
winning. Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What wins is love, Daddy. And paying your players a lot of money. I think Joe Burrow said it very clearly when he was talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. He said, Joe has been able to do his messaging in a very subtle way. And he said, look, they're paying their guys a lot of money and they're winning. And I think that was his way of saying, come on, guys, you got to pick it up. The whole thing where the Brown family thinks that these little tiny $500,000, $30 million, whatever here and there is going to matter is where I disagree. Pay your talent, keep your talent. That's the mistake we've made in the past by not doing that. No, they're not winning because even if Trey comes back, the message is still there that the Bengals are a cheap team.
I'm done with this. Daddy
done
is
with
trying to phrase questions in a way that is a commentary on what the Bengals are doing because he doesn't agree with what the Bengals are doing, but he's saying it in a way where he's trying to get back into the good graces. Daddy-O has hated the fact that the last 5 years, the Bengals organization has ignored the show because they got good, and then they got the national attention of every other show that's bigger than this. So he's mad at the fact that the Bengals don't like us anymore because they're good now, or at least they have been good. They're winning season. So he's phrasing these questions away like the Bengals are quote-unquote winning because they're not giving up any more money than they should be, even though they continue to completely bungle these entire negotiations.
Wow, bungle.
I'm sick of this. You know what? This is how I don't come back.
John, he's made both of us angry. He's made both of us angry.
Capitulated,
but that
John.
was like a
Look at
wooden
the banner.
stake.
Look
That
at
was
the
a
banner
wooden
right now.
stake through the heart of this vampire.
I'm feeding your family, John, right now with the advertisement at the bottom of this screen. If you just look.
John, can I switch gears and talk about the running back situation? Honestly, I'm not happy about it. Chase Brown is okay. Brooks is okay, whatever. For some reason, they brought back Pirine. Pirine was fine, I guess. And they got rid of Zach Moss. I guess he had been injured for a long time or whatever. Nothing really stands out to me as stellar. And whenever we've had a stellar running game, Joe Burrow has been able to open up that offense and get things going. Because when we haven't, he has struggled. I know people don't like to think of Joe Burrow as being capable of struggling, but he has. You can't throw the ball 4 downs or 3 downs. You got to run, and you got to have a successful running game. How do you feel about the lineup?
I think when I started this show, or when I didn't start the show, when I started coming on this show,
Yeah.
it was the last time the Bengals had like a decent offensive line.
Yeah.
In terms of being able to generate movement in the run game. There have been so many arguments about Joe Mixon over the years. There are now debates about Chase Brown. Is he enough? It's never necessarily about the running back talent. They have not had consistent, stable guard play in almost a decade. Ted Karras is great. We love Ted Karras.
Yeah.
He's not the same athlete as he used to be, and he was never that good of an athlete, and he doesn't have the same power that he used to have. So even if he's a solid pass protector, he's not necessarily generating movement in the run game. It's tough to start and sustain a run game when you have an interior that has middling to below average athletes who aren't necessarily powerful, who are just there to be somewhat serviceable pass protectors, because that is apparently all the Bengals value at that position. They think that, like our quarterback is a magician and he maneuvers the pocket like no other, and he can make, shoddy guard play work, when they don't realize that it's also hurting the run game. And even Orlando Brown Jr., and Marius Mims, they have more strides to go as run blockers as well. They're great pass protectors, but they don't generate as much movement as they probably should for being absolute mammoth-sized men. So,
huge
this is not a great offensive line in both phases, and that definitely hurts the run game.
I agree. I agree. Daddio?
I agree. But ultimately, John, what I like about Chase Brown in this offense is that we don't have to have an actual run game. We can have one of those run games that all it does is catch the defense off guard, because most of the time we're passing and then this little fast guy is running around and he could be catching a screen pass, or he could be going, in shotgun up the middle. I think we're never going to be a team that is built around the run.
Who cares?
And that's how it makes it tough to actually win comfortably in the playoffs. It just relies on Joe Burrow just being a superhero.
Yes. Or the defense kind of making those big plays, and then the offense doing just enough, like we did in that Super Bowl run. But we're a long way from that defense. We have the guy with the human boobs that you mentioned earlier, John. And
Good job. Human boobies.
And we have the other guys, the misfits you mentioned, who are not very fast. And then we have the guys that are fast that are very bad.
Yeah.
That's
a good description of the different parts of our team.
Yeah, we have the very
Offense and
athletic
defense.
athletic guys who don't know how to play. We have the guys who know how to play who don't know how to athlete.
Yeah.
John. But here's the thing. Offense, we're looking good. Jamar Chase, did you see that in that clip, John? He's even a little shiftier and niftier than before, which is nice. He's maybe a little quicker.
99 on Madden.
99 on Madden.
Big deal.
Yeah, not even Chad Johnson or AJ Green had that.
He has the highest, I think, rating in Madden of any wide receiver in recent history.
He does technically have the highest rating of all players in Madden, technically.
Technically, he's tied with a lot of people.
I mean, that's a
And-
lot to have Joe
well-
Burrow and Jamar Chase on your team, and then add to that T. Higgins. Really, we Bengals
Well,
fans
but
really have a lot to
add
celebrate.
to that Andre Yoshivas,
Yeah.
John, who
Why
he's having quite
Yoshivas?
the camp.
Why would you go? He's not going to be the number 3.
Is it Jermaine Burton, John?
Yeah, Burton's going to be the 3rd. You didn't see what Zach said last week?
John okay. So what do we know? I know that Joe Burrow said good things.
Burton
about Jermaine
is going to be
Burton.
3. Yoshivas is 4. I mean, I think it's pretty clear.
I don't know.
Zach sent the
I think-
messaging. Zach said, I think last week, I can't remember the quote. I don't have
look,
it from, but he
in
said something
terms
like,
of
I'm
a
very
snaps-
happy with Burton, the way he's
Right,
running.
right. But what he
Burton
means
is
is-
the more natural talent.
What he means is, I'm very happy that we don't have to exile him this year. That is what he means. And because he was
You
on
mean
the
because
verge
of his troubled life?
I don't know if it's trouble. I think he just has like problems with alarm clocks and with like scheduling the payment for his rent. And it's not.
Let me
little
tell you a
stuff,
little
the little
story.
stuff.
Let
I
me
think
tell
it
you.
could
Hold
be
on, Daddy.
dementia.
Can I just
think it
please?
could be
Can I please,
onset
Daddy?
early
No,
dementia.
he's
John.
too young for that. May I, Daddy? Can I tell you about a little
never
man?
too- it's early.
No.
Yeah.
Can I tell a little man who would wake up at 4 p.m. every day, drunk. He would skip practice, and
Right.
he hardly knew where he was.
Baker Mayfield.
No, that man's name was Keith Richards. And you know what? I think he's doing pretty darn well. So I think you can have a great
I would
career.
say this: I couldn't see Keith Richards having the kind of career in the Bengals offense that
Are
we
you
would.
kidding? He's like 90 years old.
John,
He's still
hold
touring.
on. I think John has something to say about this, which I'm very interested to hear, John.
Andre Yosevich is the third receiver.
the third
and he has
receiver.
been for the last year.
Right.
So
And here's the thing, John.
Bombshell on the show. He
No,
said it
look,
on the show.
Look, Jamar Chase,
Wow.
game-breaking receiver.
That's our headline.
T. Higgins, game-breaking receiver, not with the speed, but enough to make those big plays. You don't need a third game-breaking receiver. You need a reliable guy out there like a Andre, right, John?
Hold on, time out. I disagree. I disagree with this,
Hold on,
because
and
Bu-
then you rotate in the Jermaine Burton when it's like, hey, we're going to hit you. It's 3rd and 11. We're going to hit you with another thing. John, go.
Why not Hoji go? I mean, I
Because
actually have something to say. So here's the thing. If you guys remember, when we first brought Jamar to the team, his speed opened up the field. Do you remember that? I do. Now you put Burton on there with that man's speed.
Hold on. I told you that over the phone recently. That's
Yes,
my
I know.
analysis. Yeah.
I thought you would.
But what
give
I'm
me-
saying, what I'm saying is we need a stability in the
What now? Hold on. Can you
offense.
repeat that word because I'm not sure I really understood what it was.
We need a stability in
What-
the
what- what?
offense.
One more. We need
A stability.
stability.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the offense, we need consistency, especially with that run game. We need the offense, John. We need the passing game to function like a run game. If it's 3rd and 4, we might be passing. We need a Yoshivas, a guy who's like, hey, he's short-handed. Our tight end situation, okay, Gesicki's not bad. It's not amazing. Like Burrow doesn't have the kind of tight ends that Peyton Manning had, that these other guys that like to pick that were the entire offense. He doesn't have that kind of tight end. He needs a bigger, short-handed targets, John.
No, Josevich is who you go to for surprise plays. Burton is who you need on the field.
By the way,
to
John,
spread
you know
the
who'd be
field
really
out.
good? You know who'd be really good? Tyler Boyd.
But he's not on our team.
now
Oh, I don't know
like-
what happened.
like-
I haven't
he's like
seen him
older than
since the
Hendrickson.
I haven't watched him since the Super Bowl. Has he changed?
He's still good.
He's still good. All right. Speaking of still good, we should probably end the show before it derails into less than good. But I just want to remind people to read John's articles, support John, patreon.com/dhsports.
We don't do the helmet thing anymore?
That would require a screen sharing, which can get a little bit tricky. So I want to say one of the reasons you should support John and the show is that this
Hold on, wait a minute. You don't have screen sharing because you didn't pay for screen sharing?
well, StreamYard
That's why this-
changed the
No.
free plan.
Stop. You mean you could have had screen sharing by paying for screen sharing?
It's like $45 a month. Like who?
And we have all these patrons and they're paying the money, but you won't put it toward having screen sharing so we could play the theme song the proper way?
Here's the thing.
You have shamarred me. You have shamarred me, sir. I am shamarred by you.
Well, again, I think Shamar is happy. I don't think he understands what's going on. And so he got his half
That's
a
what
million.
happens. I mean,
He got his
shamarred
bag.
so many times in your life, you don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. John, any final thoughts before we end the show?
No.
Okay. And so with that,
Hoji, any
to
final
say-
thoughts?
I think, go ahead. Tell them what they should put in the comments.
Who should it be? Yosevac or Burton?
Good one. Yeah. Yoshi
Choose.
or Burton, put in the comments. Don't forget to
Give our
subscribe,
show
turn notifications-
many
yeah.
stars, thumbs
Many
up,
stars.
subscribe,
Thank you to our
notifications on.
patrons, especially Kyle P, who recently became in the Chad Johnson tier. But obviously, we have so many others like Nathan.
The show is back,
Silver,
baby.
Rick S, and so many others.
John Sheeran in the house, baby.
We'll see you next time. So long. It's Sweetie.
Brain in the house, baby.
Pies.